too.
Ah, cool, too. This is an example of an emergent reader, a emergent writer, developing a storyline. And a little bit about the boy. He is 9 years old, over 9 years old. He has excellent oral language, but he is Asperger's diagnosed, and he has very difficult writing more than 2 or 3 words. In an hour, if you sat down with him with a TA, he would write 5 words at the most. So he is a frustration to his teacher and to his mum, and so we worked upon his interests. His interests are trains, which he thinks about all the time and talks about all the time, and dinosaurs, and that's quite common with Asperger's boys. So I'm going to read you the story we wrote. Now this is about 2 weeks' work. In the middle of that, his mother took him on a train trip from National Park to Auckland on a train called the Overlander, and of course this boy lives and breathes the Overlander. So here we go. Riding the Overlander. Here's the boy waiting at National Park. Ethan waited for the Overlander scenic train at the National Park's platform. It will take he and his mum to Auckland. Ethan was excited as he saw the train approaching. The huge electric engine ground to a halt. The driver waved out. "Hi, Ethan," he shouted above the noise of the grinding brakes. Ethan was so excited that he just stood there looking up at the huge engine towering above him. "Wow, it's big," he whispered. "Climb up," said the driver. "Join me in the cab." He had a big smile. Ethan liked him already. "Okay," said Ethan, "but my mum will have to get in too." "Okay," said the driver, and they all climbed up the steps into the cab. Ethan stood at the door. Gosh, it was high up in here. The driver sat Ethan down in the driver's seat. "I'll radio ahead and check that the track is clear before we start," said the driver. He called central control. He checked that the track was clear and that he had permission to begin the journey. "Hang on, Ethan," he said. He pulled the throttle on and released the brake. Lucky boy getting into the cab. With the hiss of the air brake and a sharp bark of the horn, the train moved slowly forward. "We are off," shouted Ethan. The Overlander sped along the line. Its carriages swayed to and fro. The driver applied more and more throttle until the train was travelling at 60 kilometres per hour. From high in the cab, Ethan could see the countryside speeding past them. "Wow," said Ethan, "this is really fun. I can see everything for miles, and this is the fastest train in New Zealand." Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, the train sped on. It swayed from side to side. The overhead wires sparked and whistled. They travelled quickly towards Hamilton. When they came to railway crossing, the driver would sound the horn. Barp, barp. It was really loud. The cars and trucks would stop. The train sped on, hardly slowing for anything. Ethan waved at the children below. The driver winked at him. "Would you like to drive trains one day, Ethan?" "Yes, sir, I certainly would," he replied. Ethan smiled to himself. Wonder how he knew that, he thought. Just then they rumbled across the bridge. "The Waikato River," said the driver. 100 kilometres to Auckland. The train stopped at the station. A diesel engine was coupled to the Overlander train carriages. The driver came up to Ethan and his mum. "You will finish your journey behind this engine," he said. "Thank you so much," said Ethan. "That was a great ride. I will never forget it." You can see for a boy like Ethan, who is absolutely fascinated by trains, that whole experience of his mum taking him on the Overlander and then writing about it and publishing a book was probably a milestone which allowed him to develop his writing skills. As an emergent writer, he began to think about a lot of the words he could use and a lot of the phrases he could use. He had a word bank which he learned to write, and he learnt about putting himself in the personal picture. He used words that was used in the book. So that was a good example, and I enjoyed that project, and this boy is really proud of this work. He has continued to improve, and he's done many more stories about trains, one or two about dinosaurs, and he's developing his skills because he's far more confident about what he can say can be written. Thank you.